Okay, so I did choose a random day, but just to show you that I'm not cheating, I'm going to choose another one. And we're on the hourly time frame. So this is chosen Friday, 19th of May, 2017. So this is pretty much near the end of New York session, right? So all we're doing is just marking out. Here's where price stopped going any higher. Then I'm going to look back and find out where did price make this high from. Price kept going up and up and up. It found resistance, then came down. So we'll mark this. This is probably too big a range. Nah, this is 40 points, so this is nothing. And again, price is slowing down at this point, this current day. So we'll just mark this. So we've got a high, we've got the current day's low, but we've got this low that pushed price up. So price can break below here during Asia and London for the next session. Ideally, we don't want to see candle closes under here. But this doesn't ultimately mean that this is the change of the trend. Because any breaks below here could still be the indication. Any breaks below here could be new indications for sells. We're now looking to be like, okay, we were in a downtrend. We made a lower low. Made another lower low. Price had its lower high, but then the lower high got broken. Now it got broken in New York session. This is what this red bar indicates. So look what happens. Price came above, started to trade lower and lower, but it didn't come anywhere near this zone. So that's why on that day you'd be like, okay, I'm going to look for a buy because we've just seen. I mean, I wish we go back to these days where you needed a 16-point stop loss. But I mean, obviously that's not great risk to reward, 40 points. But the point is that we were in a downtrend. Just looking at this, I don't know if we're going to keep being in an uptrend or we keep going back down. But like I say, here's where price pushed all the way down from. Ideally, we want to mark this out for later as well, because if we are truly in a bullish uptrend, then we want to see breaks above this whenever it occurs. So we are going to mark this. But for right now, we've marked this low, this high. The low got broken, indicating that we're still going down for sells. But then this broke and then came down, made its new highs. And then you'd mark out this area. And then what happened again? We broke out again during London. So if we're not taking into consideration that because we've missed those trades, we're just looking now at this general area, which this is kind of a small range to work with because this was obviously low volume. This is early days of NAS. So we can just skip forward and just see what happens. We're just waiting for the next New York session. We've got to wait for one of these to break, basically. While waiting for that, let's just mark out this anyway. It's like I say, we had a big push off down here. So you could either mark this, and I'll just choose it to go extend right. This is why sometimes you'll see levels from previous days being used. Because like I said, we had this support got broken, which means anytime price comes back to this point, we can potentially see reversals to the downside. And if we want to see an uptrend for a stronger buys, we want this level to be broken. And I'm only looking back at like 3 days here. Let's not complicate it too much. So like I say, we're getting close to this level. Okay, so price broke out of this. Now, not only didn't come back to this level for a buy, but we're back above here. So we're just waiting to see what occurs. So since we missed the buys here, we've got this zone that we can potentially work from. So again, we're just doing the same thing. Okay, now price is broken above during Asia. Price sold off all the way from this point, which you can clearly see. So this would be our soft take profit. So like I say, price has come down, but since we've marked this zone off for support and the resistance what got broken, there's a higher low, higher low, higher low. So we enter. As soon as price comes back to that zone, this is a bit awkward looking at this, since this is very low price action, like from what we're used to now. But let's just see what happens. So probably a New York session, like you're probably going to get out break even at this point. But then let's just watch. So again, take a new entry. We're expecting price to resist from this point, but we want to see like breaks above this zone ideally to keep saying that we're bullish. And now it did break this zone. This zone broke. And annoyingly, you missed your entry again. So sometimes that will happen. But we were right on the trend. This is why positioning is important. Like, yes, we suffered a lot of drawdown here, but back in this day, like 20 points is nothing. If I'm going for 50 points, it's all the way down here. So again, my stop loss is just below these swing points, or a 1-to-1 at this case. So, you know, let's just be conservative and say 25 to go for 50 points. Boom. So if you're holding this on crypto, you're making your fucking money. It's just a matter of patience. And yes, this trade could have completely backfired and stopped us out, but it doesn't matter. You go for again the next day, because now we've had even more indications to the upside. Like if we just move this here, look, what do we get? We get a break. We have a break above this area. Boom, now you can enter here. So now you can have your stop loss under here, but now you've got another chance for buys. We're just following the trend. And then look how many points you managed to get if you were in a personal account or whatever. Even from this level, still 80 points. That's a good amount.